Hello, I am Storytime Behind the Mask. I hope you enjoy watching it. It was a quiet evening in Trump Tower. Donald Trump sat at his massive desk, flipping through paperwork when his eyes landed on something unusual, an old yellowed note. The handwriting was faded, but still legible. If you ever become powerful, don't forget 1983 Boston. Trump frowned. 1983? Boston? His mind started racing. Just then, his phone rang. No caller ID. A strange feeling crept over him. He picked up. Silence. Then a low, raspy voice. "Mr. Trump, you haven't forgotten, have you?" Suddenly, he was back in Boston. It was a freezing night in 1983. A younger Trump stood outside his stalled luxury car, steam rising from the hood. The streets were nearly empty. Then, out of nowhere, an old pickup truck pulled up. A scruffy man stepped out. "Car trouble?" the man asked. Trump hesitated but nodded. The man smiled. "No worries, let's take a look." Within minutes, the man got the engine running. "There you go. Good as new," he said, wiping his hands. Trump reached for his wallet, pulling out a wad of cash. "Here, take this. I appreciate it." The man shook his head. "Nah, I don't need money. Just do something good for someone else one day. That's how you pay me back." Trump paused. That line stuck with him. He never forgot it. But he never expected it to come back like this. Snapping back to the present, Trump grabbed his phone and called his assistant, Margaret. "Find out if there's a man named James in Boston. Drove an old truck. Helped me back in '83. I need to find him." Hours later, Margaret called back. "Mr. Trump, we found him. But there's bad news." Trump's stomach dropped. He jumped in his car and headed straight to an old, rundown apartment building. Taking a deep breath, he knocked. A weak voice answered, "Who is it?" The door creaked open. An older, frailer James stood there. His hair had grayed, his face was tired, but his eyes, those same kind eyes, were still there. James squinted. "I know you." Trump felt a lump in his throat. "You saved me that night." "James, now it's my turn." James chuckled. "Ah, life's funny, ain't it? Never thought I'd see you again." Trump stepped inside. Without wasting time, Trump called Margaret. "Get the best hospital ready," and set up a fund for James's family. Within minutes, an ambulance arrived. James's son and grandson showed up, shocked but grateful. As they prepped James for transport, Trump leaned in. "Remember what you told me? About paying it forward? Now it's my turn." James smiled weakly. Standing at the hospital door, Trump looked back one last time. "Don't thank me. Just pass it on someday." James chuckled, eyes glistening. "You got it, kid." Trump stepped out into the city, feeling something rare, a quiet sense of fulfillment. In just a few hours, one life had changed. And maybe, just maybe, the ripple effect had only just begun.